Pedagogy of Environmental Studies. Unit 2, Understanding Teaching and Learning, EVS, from the perspective of learners. Children's ideas and concepts in science. When children come to school, they come together with their own ideas and interpretations of the events and phenomena that happen around them. These ideas and interpretations are the natural result of their everyday experiences, of their physical activities like talking with other people and so on. The central aim of science is to provide answers and explanations of how these natural phenomena occur and happen on the earth. Rosalind Driver, in her book entitled Young People's Images of Science by Open University Press, 1996, explained about how children think and understand about science. Preteaching. In order to comprehend how children think and understand about science, a group of educationists who are working with them, that is, with the children, ask them a few questions. When children were asked about the purpose of scientific work by scientists, a number of them answered that science and the purpose of scientific work is all about inventing cures and devices. The same children were then explain and teach about science and the purpose of scientific work by these educationists for some times. Post-teaching. Again, they were asked the same question as before about what is science and the purpose of scientific work. Most of them now gave a different answer from the earlier one, and almost all of them say that the purpose of science is to develop and explain how natural phenomena occur. From the above research, more questions were asked to children by these educationists in order to understand more about children's ideas and concepts in science. The following is one of the questions which were asked in order to understand more about children's ideas and concepts and the purpose of science. What do you think why scientists do experiments? Children's answers were arranged into 3 categories, and these are to make new discoveries. Another response was that to find out their explanations why things happen. But a very small number of children answer that scientists do experiment in order to help people. From this experimental research, these educationists realized that children develop different ideas and concepts at a very young age, especially in science. The focus here is to understand children's preconcept at a very young age when they first came into contact with the formal educational settings. Jean Piaget, a Swiss psychologist, was the first to put forward the notion that children construct their own knowledge, which is different from that of an adult. According to Piaget, when children come to school, they were engaged into different educational environments. They bring with them their own initial ideas, which determine how they perceive the world. These ideas are developed through everyday interaction and activities, which enable learning even before entering formal education. As a result, different children will have different ideas based on their previous experiences, from which some will be preconception or erroneous concepts, and some will be correct concept. That's why, as teachers, we should understand that preconception and misconception should be removed and eradicated from children's mind, not only in science but from other subjects also. What is preconception and misconception? As a result, different children will have different initial ideas based on their previous experiences, from which some will be preconception or erroneous concept, and some will be correct concept. In this sense, if children receive the proper guidance from teachers, they can have their own preconception restructured into new ones, which will be correct. However, if children do not receive proper guidance, there is a great danger that their initial preconception will be restructured and developed into alternative ideas, also known as misconception. The term preconception implies that ideas being expressed by children do not have the status of generalized understanding. Preconception can also pose strong barriers to understanding science and can be detrimental to learning, since they usually develop to be alternative frameworks which are even more difficult to change. Preconception can also arise when two or more learned concepts get mixed up. Children who have preconception can also convince others in a group to believe them. That's why when learners are told that what they believe is incorrect, they find it difficult to overcome their beliefs, especially if they have held these beliefs for a long time. The term misconception is widely used in literature to describe children's perception that have the characteristics of incorrect understanding of models or theories. Misconception can be false or mistaken and can cause a barrier to understanding of science. Misconception in science is usually referred when children have been exposed to formal models or theories and have assimilated them incorrectly. Research done by experts on the field has shown that children preconception do not agree with what is generally accepted by the scientific community. As an example, L.S. Bradley, in his book Children Learning Science, refer to a 4-year-old child and his preconception. When the child was asked why it rains, the answer Bradley received from the child was that it rains because the sun shines on the top of the clouds and pushes the rain out, and it rains down to us. The following are some of the common ideas and concepts that children have in science. If it moves, it is alive. This is a preconception regarding living and non-living things. We all know that many things that move are not alive, such as cars, clouds, flowing or running water, and so on. This is because moving things that are most familiar to children are likely to be domestic animals like dogs, cats, and so on. Since they consider animals to be alive, they may associate the characteristic of movement with life. Another example: flowers are for insects to feed upon. Seeds contain a tiny adult plant already formed inside. Plants are neither male nor female. It is not possible to analyze all these examples regarding children ideas and concepts in science in this video. But as teachers, we can understand that preconception and misconception can cause a barrier in understanding science and can be detrimental to learning, since they usually develop another alternative frameworks which are even more difficult to change. Thank you.